What's up guys, Dale43 doing another video on my channel. Today we're going to be doing actually a different style video. Today we're actually going to be talking and reviewing the final episode of Attack on Titan. Plus also, like the Great Skittle Rampage did, I'm going to talk about some pops I wish were coming for, you know, AOT that we haven't already gotten. So yeah, with that being said, if you guys could smash that like button, also hitting the subscription would be great. We're getting up every day. You guys are awesome. I do hope you guys enjoyed this style of video because today, like I said, we're going to be doing a different style of video. It's going to be like a review plus also my thoughts over the whole season, and then also the thoughts over the whole show, plus also just a little bit of extra pop talk. So yeah, so with that being said, let's hop right into the first topic. Alright, so with that being said, the first topic is going to simply be, we're going to talk about just that episode. Also, for the whole video, spoiler warning, it's going to be right there. Spoiler warning, you're going to be spoiled. I'm going to post pictures up. I'm going to be talking about the whole episode. So if you haven't seen the last episode, X out this video now. You're not going to want to see it because it's going to be a great review. So let's say we're going to talk about the last episode, which I have a lot of thought about the last episode. I loved it, and I'm also bothered by it, if that makes sense. Because I'm kind of bothered because I really loved AOT a lot. So it now being over just feels kind of sad because it's like, well, now the journey's over. And obviously I'm not like everyone else where I did started from 10 years ago or 13 years ago until now. So for me, it was only like a year, probably 2 years at max. I think it's like a year, roughly, that I watched AOT. So for me, it's like the journey was quickly over, and it kind of made me kind of sad. But the episode itself was a masterpiece. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were crazy. There's just things that I just have questions about, obviously. Like the factor that who's the little boy or the boy at the end of the episode. Is there going to be a sequel? Because everyone says there's not going to be a sequel, but I could also understand if it's like something for just the mind to think about, like, oh, we're just spin cycling over and over, just showing that the cycle's going to repeat, showing that this boy's going to go get the Titan powers and restart everything, and history repeats itself over and over. And I can understand that if it's just more like we're just for us to think about, not for us to think like, oh, there's another episode coming, but more like, that's just, you know, that's what's happening. You also had like all sorts of crazy stuff from start to finish. You had like the beginning attack fight between the Armored and all of them fighting, to then showing that is actually Falco's Jaw Titan that was actually the one with the wings in the trailer we've been seeing. And that was crazy enough because I was like, oh, that was such a cool moment to see. And that leads us into another question. I would love that to be a pop. I would love Falco's even just a Jaw Titan when it was Porco, and then a Jaw Titan when it's Falco with the wings and everything. That'd be such a great 6-inch pop. Actually, both of those would be great pops. Funko, if you're listening, do that. After that, the episode gets even more crazy because Armin gets kidnapped, can't even turn into the Colossal Titan. Then they end up having that whole plot twist where Zeke actually is down there and Armin actually helping Zeke save themselves to get to the to bring back all the old Titans to come help fight. Which leads me to lots and lots of questions. I don't understand why Zeke got out of the Titan to talk to Levi if he knew he was gonna die. If that was his intention from the beginning, okay, maybe that was his intention, he wanted that to happen. But, it just doesn't really add up in my mind, because I'm like, why? If you wanted to do that, wouldn't you have just hopped out from the very get-go? Yeah, he was stuck in the pathway, or the tree of path, or whatever they're called that. I know he's stuck there, so, maybe he couldn't get out, and so once Armin freed him, basically, by letting all the other Titans, work together, maybe it found him a way out, and he just didn't care, because I'm like, he kind of hopped out, and then all of a sudden, just, Levi comes in and just chops him in half and ends it, so it's like, okay, I also wish that Levi could have had a better moment than, I love Levi, I loved everything about it, but I wish he had had a little bit more to do with, hunting down the Beast Titan, because, he really didn't have anything. Zeke just pulls up out of nowhere, comes out, says, hi, hey, Levi, I know you want to see me, I don't want to see you, cool. And it's I wish it would have been more of him having to actually hunt for the final attack and then get a perfect final blow over just he's talking, I'm just gonna end it right here, and then just that's it. Because he really he peeks out, looks around, says, oh, the environment looks beautiful, the sunshine, and then just gets cut. And then Levi just finishes him off. And I'm like, you could, I'm not gonna complain, it was a great episode, but there's little minor critiques here and there where I'm like, it could have been something different, but I'm not gonna complain, it doesn't ruin the episode for me where I'm gonna say, oh, this ruined the episode. That was great. I would love to say it's a 9.5 out of 10. I'm not going to go 10 out of 10 because I mean, I don't know. There's things that, again, that you could change, but I think it was pretty good for what we got. And that was honestly such a like crazy plot, or not plot twist again, ending. Because I never, as a guy that's never read the manga, this was a new ending for me because I really don't know how the manga ended. I still even to this exact moment don't really know. Cause I keep looking it up and people give you different answers and don't just tell you what happens. And I'm like, because people didn't like the manga ending and they wanted an anime only ending. And I think that's what we got. I think for the most part, I'm like, okay, Mikasa ends up just defeating him. Which again, lots of questions again on the fact that did they have to really? Because I mean, don't get me wrong, what Eren did is terrible. I can't defend him, but like, it's my boy Eren. Like, we all like Eren at the end of the day. Like, I mean, I still feel bad for him. I'm like, was there no other option? Like, because again, he had the Founder's power, so he could see, or Founder and Attack, I believe. So he could see pretty much past, present, future. But like, what if they decided not to finish him off? Like, you know, like, what if they decided to take him out of the Titan? Would he have just recreated another Titan just to continue, like, because clearly he didn't want to do it. So, like, what if they would have stopped him? Would he just have continued doing it anyways because he knew that that's what had to be done? Because, like, at that point, he didn't even have the powers to do the rumbling because technically Ymir's, like, spinal cord thing wasn't attached to him yet. So, like, was there any, like, did they have to finish him off? Or could they have, like, waited and not did that? That's more questions I have. And then it leads to the last my other question, which is, like, they ended up, and people said that the ending is Mika ends up with Jean. And I'm like, that's really cool and all, but, like, as a homie, you're really gonna go with the one girl that he's in love with? Just a whole boggle of questions I have. If that is Jean. Maybe it's not Jean and I'm just confused. And then again, the little boy at the end leads me to the question of who is this little boy? What is his purpose? Is this teasing a sequel? Is it teasing a spin-off? Because it doesn't sound like they want to have there's no reason to. And honestly, where the story's at right now, you could leave it perfectly fine. Just cut it off right here and it'd be perfectly fine. I wouldn't have any complaints. If you do a sequel, though, it has to be really good to make it good. And I'd love a sequel because I love AOT. But at the same time, if it doesn't make sense, then I don't know. It also, I saw another theory that the spinal cord isn't anymore. It's not Ymir's because Ymir's actually gone. But it's Eren, and he's the one at the bottom of the tree stuck down there. Which I thought that was an interesting theory. There was another theory that they're supposedly, or not even a theory, it's my own personal theory. It's not even an internet theory, this is mine. I'm like, imagine he goes down, blah, blah, blah. Could you get the Founder's Titan power? And because you can change past, present, and future events, could you alter the past to make it where Eren didn't start the rumbling? Like, is that even a possibility? Because the whole, like, thing really boggles your mind. Because he said he went back in time to make sure the Titan ate Bertolt, or ate his mom, not Bertolt. So could you go back in time exactly how Eren did and say, all right, well, we're going to change this to make it like this? And then change the whole timeline where it's like Eren never started the rumbling, this never happened, we're stopping all this because you want something different of a different outcome. Is that possible? And if so, why didn't anyone think of doing that? Or why didn't he do it? There's also the ending where where he takes all the Titan powers away, and I'm like, okay, well, at the end of the episode, Eren takes all the Titan powers away, but like, why not just rid the Titan powers from the get-go? You didn't have to do the rumbling, just say, hey, we're done with Titans, I got them all gone. If you had that potential of power. Because I'm assuming it doesn't, I mean, yeah, it's when you free Ymir, but Ymir only got freed because she saw Mikasa kiss Eren's empty head, which was creepy and weird, and kind of like, Mikasa, you could have stopped, kissed him while he was alive, let him have that last like moment of happiness, and then cut him in half. You didn't have to like chop his head off and then pick up his dead head and then make out with it. It's just a weird, like, Mikasa, it's like, okay, that's strange. I still love her. She's definitely top tier, but weird. And that, like I said, so that leads me to the question of, is that possible? Could you switch the timeline to fix it? I've seen the Flash do it multitudes of times. There's actually when he fights in the Flash, when he fights Savitar, he's from the future, and every time they change something in the past or they go in the future to change something, he sees it, so he already knows what's going to happen. So my question is, could that happen here? And if so, how would that affect the whole timeline? Does it just reverse the whole timeline, or does it like keep everything the same? There's just lots and lots of questions I have over how that could have happened, but overall, that is my consensus on this episode. I would definitely call this episode a good 9.5 out of 10. Overall, the show, though, like a 9.8. I loved it. Season 1 through 3, crazy. Season 4 was just amazing, epic. I loved it. Again, I love the whole show. AOT was a perfect from start to finish. It's one of my favorite animes. Not the favorite, because obviously my favorite's going to be Naruto, because I love Naruto immensely. But AOT is very close to second. Like, that show has almost no flaws. I love it. He was cooking for 13 years. And I've heard everyone talk about that. Like, what is it? 13 years is how long he kept the manga going. Or 13 years for it to all end. And 13 years is exactly how long you live with the Titan power. Then there's, he did 9 arcs, 9 Titans. And then there was, what was the last one? Oh, it's 139 chapters instead of 140, because 140 in Japanese, I think, means freedom. And it's represented that Eren never got freedom, which, that's crazy. This man was cooking for 13 years. Like, imagine, like, starting now and in 13 years you've had a map out of how to really keep everything this close. He did what the MCU couldn't. Because the MCU, from the first 3 sagas, or till they got to Infinity War and Endgame, they had that thing perfect. Everything was running, making sense. Now Marvel's fumbled. But this man was cooking. He literally has been cooking in the kitchen for 13 years. What a legend he is. And he gave us something like AOT to really have... Because look, now we're talking about it, making videos about it. He knew what he was doing. He's a madman. But overall, that is my consensus over the whole show. I love the show. Love AOT. Nothing too much to complain about. Crazy episodes. I love Levi. The ending, especially when they all just held their hand to their chest, was amazing. Man, it really makes you think. It's like, oh, that was crazy. Just hearing those final goodbyes to everyone, seeing Levi actually shed a tear for once was crazy. They knew what they were doing. Then you saw your girl Sasha. Oh, and then the ending music. Everything about that just gets me where I'm like, man. I'm like, did I really just watch this? This is crazy. Because it's like, oh, I feel so bad for everybody. It was just, but then it felt so heartwarming. I don't know. It's crazy. But now that we've said that, here's some pops I would love to see. I know Skittle Rampage talked to us, so I'm going to try to pick stuff that he didn't. And some are obviously going to be kind of the same. And I only am doing this because I wanted to do it anyways. And I saw Skittle did it, and I thought it was crazy because I'm like, oh, Skittle's a goat. But some of the pops I'd love to see, like he mentioned, was Rhina. I'd love to see a Rhina pop. I already mentioned I'd like a Falco as the Jaw Titan, which is with the wings. Regular Jaw Titan, Porco's Jaw Titan would be cool. More Titans really would be the kind of way to go. Because I'd love an armored Titan, or not an armored. I would love a new armored Titan, because that one's expensive. I'd also love a new Colossal, but a 10-inch Colossal, because that's really how big even Bertolds or Armin should have been. I'd also love more Titans again. Just revamps, because again, it's like, why not give us more Titans? More characters, too. You could go back to older seasons, give us newer characters, older characters, revamps, because now you have Season 4 gear. You could give a child Mikasa, which they already have made a kid Eren, so why not make a child Mikasa? There's just so many possibilities that are just complete. You could also do an Armor Titan where he's all damaged and beaten up, like at the last scene when he's on the ground fighting the Ymir's spinal cord. That was crazy with all those the arrows going through his chest. I'll pop a picture of what that looked like. It was crazy. You could definitely have that. There's what other great pops could you do? Oh man, we don't even have Peak. We have the Cart Titan, but no Peak. You could do Peak. That's literally in every piece. She's one of the top characters. They've already given us a Krista, given us a Queen Historia. They've given us a Mir. They've given us a Mir Fritz. They've given us a Mir Titan. What other ones could you really do that that I can't think of they haven't done? New season, obviously, you could do new variations of clothing, which is cool, but it's nothing crazy. It's okay, same character but just in a different clothing. You could definitely do a season 4, because they give us the season 4 Eren when he's putting his coat jacket back on, but you could definitely give one when he's already out of Titan form and he's all beat up. There's always a possibility for that. It's kind of a weird one. I would love to say that I'd love, like Skittle said, to make the final when he's in his founding Titan form, but that's almost impossible. To make it look right, plus making it make sense, would just be almost immensely impossible. It'd be another Jumbo All Might where it's $100 just to get this ginormous Titan that most people aren't going to pick up anyways, because it's that's expensive. And if the people do pick it up, none of us will be able to obtain it anyways. So I don't know how I feel about that. I think it'd be too hard to create comfortably anyways. But there's just so much endless room and possibility for new Funko Pops. You could even give us the Eren and Mikasa as kids laying under the tree. That'd be such a beautiful, moment. Compared to the moments we've gotten now, I'd much rather have child Eren and child Mikasa sitting under the tree. Or him laying under the tree and her walking with the sticks. That'd be so cool. You could even give the cabin scene when they're hugging at the cabin. That'd be a great moment. Again, these are all spoiler moments, but I'd love it. I wish that these were real pops. I can't really think of anything else that I'd be would make sense, but those are specific ones that I'm that'd be crazy. We definitely need a Levi Beast moment, but I don't know how they would do that comfortably without make sense, but it'd be such a cool moment if they could pull that off. A lot of moments really you could do. There's more calm moments, because AOT doesn't, it's because the thing with AOT is the attack moments are so crazy that you can't really comfortably make a moment. It's not like Naruto and Sasuke, which I have up there, which you can barely see because they're kind of covered behind some pop. But on that moment, it's the both of them when they're getting ready to shoot their attack. You can't really do that with AOT because they're always, in every fight scene, it's crazy animations and like both are just going in just ginormous forms. You never have a moment where it's like two just regular humans going at it with each other. It's always like two titans, which to do that is kind of a difficult task, honestly. To one, make it so they don't fall, and two, to make it where they actually don't break. But if you were to do that, you could also do the Walmaria when they first even take when Aaron's using an attack and he's on the ground fighting the armored. You could easily make that and it would honestly not. You could still do it on a regular like form. Just have him on the floor like trying to hold the armored bag and have the armored on top of him, just like pushing him. That's what's happening, and that's another great scene. I don't think you could do the I mean, yeah, I guess you could do just like the Colossal like peeking over the wall, but I don't know how well that would look in like that. It'd have to be a bigger moment, which would be still really awesome, and I would pay for it. But I don't know if they would or not. But those are just some of the pops I would love to see. I would love to see what your guys' pops that you'd want to see are. And this also leads me to the question of the day, which for today's question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite AOT Funko Pop? And I'm actually going to show you guys what mine is because I have a different short for tomorrow. And my favorite AOT Funko Pop has to be the female Titan. Let me just kind of pan that. That has to be my favorite Funko Pop of AOT. I absolutely love the female Titan. And yeah, the reason I showed it today in this ending is because I'm going to actually have a different question of the day for tomorrow's video. So, or not even a question of the day. Tomorrow's going to be a whole different short for AOT, but I want it to be a whole different. So I want to show you guys what my answer was, which maybe I'll start doing that, showing what's going to be at the end, and then maybe post a new one at the different. I might change it up a little bit. So that is my favorite AOT Funko Pop, and it has to be the female Titan. So I'd love to see what your guys' questions of the day or what your guys' thoughts over the whole episode were. And yeah, so with that being said, I'll see you guys in Wednesday's, technically Wednesday's video, but tomorrow's short. Peace.